Hey everybody, it's Leanne here from Reverberate Truth, and today we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to talk about the Equalities Wheel. When we visited together last, we were looking at the power and control wheel that was created by the Duluth method, and we learned about what some of those negative, less than encouraging, and very controlling behaviors that can be when we are faced with a domestic violence situation. We learned about control, intimidation, among other things. Well, today we're going to take some time and look at what a healthy relationship could look like and should look like. And, we're not going to spend a tremendous amount of time in each one of these areas on the wheel. I want to touch on them so you get an idea about how they indeed contrast with the power and control wheel. So, taking responsibility for your own well being, make sure that you're in a safe space where you can take some notes and receive some encouragement from this video. So, I'm going to show you the complete wheel because it's really important that we understand that equality is a complete picture. And so, this is what the nonviolence equality wheel looks like. And so we're going to go through each one of these areas. There are 8 of them, and we're going to talk about the highlighted items for each one so you can have a reference point. Because oftentimes in a domestic violence situation or when there is an emotional abuse, and some people are afraid to say it's mental violence or mental abuse or emotional violence or emotional abuse. And I'm here to tell you it happens in every arena. It can happen environmentally. It can happen socially. It can happen emotionally, mentally, physically, and even spiritually. And so this stuff is really huge. And so we want to look at what it is that are the qualities that we can seek out, pay attention to, and even expect in a healthy relationship. So I'm going to go through these kind of quickly here, and then we're going to dive deeper into these in further videos if that is a desire of yours. So if it is, I encourage you to leave a message down below this video or reach out to me at legacynowlived@gmail.com and let me know that you want to hear more about these topics. All right, so the very first one that we're going to talk about right here is all about negotiation and fairness. And this is all about seeking mutually satisfying resolutions to conflict, accepting change, and being willing to compromise. This is a big one. When you think about resolutions to conflict, we often don't think that there can be equality in that, but there can be. We can learn to accept and navigate change in a healthy way. Some of that includes boundaries. We also can be willing to compromise. But until we know who we are, women, it's going to be very challenging for us to negotiate compromise in a way that is a win-win for everybody. So that's the first one on the equality wheel. The next one I want to talk to you about here is non-threatening behavior. This is a big one. We want to be able to talk and act and receive that behavior back to us that feels safe, comfortable, and expresses who we are at the core and not missing our feelings, our desires, and our thoughts, which are so incredibly important. So that's non-threatening behavior. We can talk and act in a way that is non-threatening and that allows us to feel safe, cared for, and dare we say even cherished. Number 3 on the wheel is all about respect. This is listening, being listened to. Can you imagine being listened to non-judgmentally, being emotionally affirmed and understood, and then being validated for how we feel and what we're experiencing? Other people can value your opinion, and it's super important that we honor that. Not only do we want it from others, but we want to give it back to others. The next one we're going to look at is trust and support. Ooh, this is another big one. Who do you have in your life that supports your goals, that respects your right to your own feelings, your own friends, your activities, your hobbies, and yeah, even your opinions? This is a big one too. So I want to encourage you to think about this area of trust and support in your life when it comes to healthy relationships that are equal in dignity and strength. Number 5 on this wheel, it's right down here. And this is all about accountability and honesty. This is when we are able to accept responsibility for ourselves, acknowledging the past experience of violence or abuse in our world, admit and own the areas where we have stepped out of bounds, where maybe we've been wrong and mistreated somebody. This also looks like communicating openly and truthfully and not withholding your truth from another human being. This is huge when it comes to building intimacy again and developing and establishing equality in your relationship. The next one we want to look at, near and dear to my heart, is responsible parenting. Our kids get the brunt of a lot of the challenges that we are trying to navigate when it comes to a domestic violence or abuse situation. Parental responsibilities should and can be shared. We can be positive, nonviolent role models for our kiddos, and they need that. This world is strong enough on its own to provide our kids with many opportunities to less than desirable behaviors at home when it comes to our parenting and the support that we want to give them. And even letting them see that unity can happen in the home when it comes to parenting and the choices that you make for the mission for your family. The next one we're going to talk about is shared responsibility. This one is learning to mutually agree on the equal distribution of the work in the household. All of the chores, all of the book work, all of the wage earning, all of that doesn't need to happen with just one of you. This can be a shared opportunity and responsibility. It helps the family navigate in a more harmonious way. And the big one, family decisions can be made together. It does not have to be a my way or the highway situation like it often is in a domestic violence or a domestic abuse situation. So I want to encourage you to make decisions in unity, in conversation with your partners. The last one we're going to talk about is economic partnership. This is all about making money decisions together. This is about making sure both partners are benefiting from financial arrangements within the family. Oftentimes I hear in my practice that women are withheld or given an allowance in order to navigate the household, and that can become extremely challenging when it comes to running the household in a way that's honoring. And so all of these areas, ladies, are ways that we can be empowered, that we can stand up in our strength, and we can encourage and promote and learn more about equal relationships, shared control, shared power, shared dignity, and an incredible blessing for our families, for our children, and for ourselves and the relationship that we have with ourselves. And so please reach out to Reverberate Truth. Again, I'm Leanne Parsons. I am here to be of service to you, to be an encouragement, to help you step forward in your own core well-being as you navigate your healing journey out of domestic violence and domestic abuse. Until next time, be well.